dug his clothes.
The following recording from the trail camera was made in a wooded area of Michigan, near the city of Dearborn. A local hunter, as usual, was recording animals in a permitted area. While watching the recordings hoping to see various animals, he saw this. In the presented frames, we see a night shot from the forest. The object appears in 3 consecutive photographs, which in itself deserves attention. This eliminates the possibility of a simple glare or camera artifact. We see something massive, dark, moving from left to right between the trees. In the first pictures, the figure appears to be slightly tilted forward, as if it is in motion. The outlines are blurred, but you can see the broad shoulders and narrowing to the waist, which is more like the silhouette of a humanoid creature than an animal. At the same time, the object looks much larger than an ordinary person in dark clothes. In relation to the trees, the height exceeds the average height. In the following frames, the figure has shifted closer to the center and looks more massive. Here we see a clearer silhouette of the back and head, which seems disproportionately large. It is important to note that these images retain the same density and texture of the dark covering of the figure, which suggests the presence of thick wool. This footage comes from the Kilcoy area, where an abandoned collapsed tent was discovered deep in the Queensland bush. Glenn shared the recording, which, in my opinion, may show as many as 3 Yahi. He has documented Yahi tracks on multiple occasions along the stretch from Caboosher to Kilcoy on the Sunshine Coast, and notes that many of the tracks in this region appear to have 6 toes.
Oh, well. Yeah, did you see the big tree break over there? It was a good snap.
During a hike, Glenn and his companion stumbled upon the damaged, deserted tent near a creek and small waterhole. It was around this spot that most of the Yahi activity seemed to occur. Interestingly, a heavy log had been placed across the tent, perhaps as a warning or message: do not camp here. The video itself is challenging to interpret, but if you look closely at the rock to the left of the old tent, the first section shows a large dark figure near the rock as the camera moves closer, before it slips away into the bush. In the second part, a smaller shape can be seen moving behind the rock. Later, Glenn returned to the scene and took a size comparison photo. He positioned himself next to the same tree where the largest Yahi had reportedly stood before withdrawing into the undergrowth. The comparison suggests the creature was nearly twice Glenn's height. On reviewing the footage further, another detail emerges. To Glenn's left, hidden among the trees, appears a crouching dark Yahi with a grayish face, watching him intently. Its bent arm extending outward can also be made out along the right side of its figure. A newly surfaced video online is stirring debate, with some suggesting it may capture a possible Bigfoot deep in a North American forest. Filmed in a remote, heavily wooded area, the footage shows a tall, shadowy figure moving with deliberate slowness through the trees. What makes the clip especially compelling is the figure's behavior. Instead of merely passing by, it appears to interact with its surroundings. At one point, it crouches close to the ground, scanning the forest floor before reaching upward to tug down branches, actions that resemble foraging or examining vegetation. Its movements are steady and controlled, displaying strength and purpose against the dense woodland backdrop. The figure's build looks broad and muscular, with long arms that hang low and swing naturally as it moves. Observers note its posture and gait differ subtly from that of a human, adding weight to the idea it may not be an ordinary figure, though the footage is not crystal clear and leaves room for doubt. The combination of its size, mannerisms, and apparent foraging has fueled speculation that this could be one of the clearest behavioral glimpses of Bigfoot ever recorded. Skeptics remain unconvinced, citing the possibility of a hoax or mistaken identity. Even so, the video has already sparked widespread conversation and reignited interest in the enduring mystery of North America's most famous cryptid. In August, a trail camera on a remote Missouri farm captured something its owner still can't explain. At first glance, it seemed like just another motion alert triggered by swaying branches, but when he opened the photo on his phone, he froze. A massive figure stood in the middle of the creek. The camera hadn't even been set up for wildlife. It was there to monitor water levels after flooding earlier that summer had swept away a kayak. Usually the only images it sent were of leaves drifting in the wind. But that afternoon, as the landowner sat down to lunch with his wife, his phone buzzed. Expecting nothing unusual, he tapped the app, only to see something enormous, upright in the water, staring back at the lens. He nearly jumped out of his seat and quickly switched to the live feed, but by the time it loaded, the figure had vanished. Hours later, he and his brother returned to the spot to look for answers. The banks held no tracks, only loose gravel that left no trace of what had been there.
This is the shoreline. And this is the entire area around. As you can see, it's a giant tree right here and about an 8-foot cliff. So it'd be very difficult for someone to jump down or jump up. And then this is directly above. Just so you can kind of get a view of the geography here. And then this is directly below. As you can see, I'm about a foot into the water here. This is exactly where he was standing. It's the exact spot. We came back and we're a few feet forward from where we were in the other picture. So we tried to get in the exact spot. And then the camera is right up there where Will's at. And we're trying to trigger it from here because I'm not big enough to do it. So
The man's brother, who stands about 6 feet tall, posed in the same spot for scale. Yet the figure in the original photo appeared several feet taller and 2 to 3 times broader. 2 days later, the brothers repeated the test. Same camera, same angle, same time of day. The results were clear. Whatever showed up in that first image was far larger than any man. Covered in shades of brown and black, it stood upright on 2 legs, seemingly walking toward the camera. Locals had whispered for years about strange howls in those woods, which he had always brushed off as coyotes. But with this photo, and the undeniable size difference compared to his brother, the landowner became convinced his camera had captured Bigfoot. And here's the chilling twist. The photo wasn't even triggered by the creature itself. The camera fired only because leaves fluttered across the lens at just the right moment. Without that stroke of luck, the figure might never have been seen at all. So, what do you think? Did a Missouri Trail cam really capture Bigfoot in broad daylight? Or is there another explanation? The Bigfoot Research Organization is now investigating, and I'll be sharing updates. While hiking, a man noticed movement in the branches and started filming. As he zoomed in, he thought he glimpsed a small ape-like figure nestled in the tree. The shape was difficult to distinguish, blurred by distance and leaves, but its size and posture made him wonder if he had stumbled upon a young Bigfoot attempting to stay concealed.
You see what I'm seeing? I see you, buddy. It's okay. Well, you can see the white of his eyes in the corner. I think I figured his secret out a little bit.
This trail cam photo, taken in New York, appears to show a Bigfoot-like creature, and it closely resembles another mysterious figure recently caught on camera in the same state. The original shot was snapped on June 30th, 2015, but it went largely unnoticed until the newer image brought it back into the spotlight. The photo was taken deep in a remote forest, where the camera had been set up to monitor local wildlife. What it captured, though, was far stranger than anyone expected. In the frame, we see a small, dark, humanoid figure hunched over, far larger than expected for its size. Some believe this could be a juvenile Bigfoot, since reports claim the creatures can range in size from towering giants to smaller, younger forms. What makes the case more compelling is that another eerily similar trail cam image surfaced not far from where this one was taken. Though New York isn't usually the first place people associate with Bigfoot sightings, the state has a surprisingly rich history of reports. Its dense forests and rugged wilderness have inspired stories for centuries. Early European settlers in upstate New York spoke of strange tracks, chilling nighttime screams, and fleeting glimpses of towering man-like figures. While many dismiss these tales as folklore, the details echo modern Bigfoot accounts. So, what did these photos really show? Could they be authentic evidence of Bigfoot? Or perhaps something else entirely? Like Dogman? Whatever the explanation, the images remain unsettling and suggest that something otherworldly might be moving through New York's forests. While hiking through Utah's Packing Canyon, a man was enjoying the quiet trails and towering trees when his camera captured something unusual, something that shouldn't have been there. As he scanned the forest, a massive dark figure moved swiftly between the trees. Its motion resembled that of a gorilla, except there are no gorillas in Utah. Cautiously, he followed. When he zoomed in, the creature seemed to notice, then vanished into the woods. Locals have long whispered about Bigfoot. Maybe this time, the stories are true. Now let's take a look at another Bigfoot sighting, but this time, it's of the skunk ape, a cryptid notorious in the southern U.S., especially Florida, often called Florida's version of Bigfoot. This particular encounter comes from the Everglades. While exploring the area, a man noticed something unusual, pulled out his camera, and recorded a video that he later uploaded in search of answers. The skunk ape itself remains a fascinating mystery. Often described as a smaller, scruffier cousin of Bigfoot, it's said to stand 5 to 7 feet tall, covered in dark reddish-brown hair, and notorious for its foul odor, hence the name. Legends of large, wild men in Florida swamps go back centuries, with Native American tribes sharing stories of these elusive creatures. Sightings increased in the 20th century, with hunters, fishermen, and locals reporting fast-moving, ape-like beings darting through sawgrass and mangroves. So, is this video capturing the real skunk ape? In this Sasquatch clip, a hunter in Canada claims to have captured Bigfoot on camera. At first glance, you can definitely see a creature moving through the woods, but right away, it's clear that it's walking more like a human. Bigfoots don't move like that. They don't take those delicate, cautious steps. While another pointed out that a real Bigfoot would have sensed the hunter, and there's no way he would have caught it on camera. Honestly, I agree. This seems like much ado about nothing. Where we see a man casually strolling through the jungle, singing and minding his own business. Suddenly, he hears something strange and quickly pulls out his camera. What he captures next is the stuff of nightmares. It's truly bizarre. We've all heard of Bigfoot in North America and the Yeti in the Himalayas, but a creature like this in an Indian rainforest, that's unheard of. Its size alone is intimidating, but the creepiest moment comes when it spots the camera and tries to duck behind a tree. To me, that suggests it's smarter than we think. Is it just someone in a suit? Maybe, but I have to admit, I'm intrigued. What do you think? This next clip starts with a group of horse riders who set out to document one of their outings. With cameras rolling, they aim to capture the scenic beauty of the wilderness and the joy of riding together. As they navigated the forest trails, they laughed, chatted, and enjoyed the serene environment, completely unaware of what might be lurking in the shadows. Back home, they gathered to review the footage and relive the day's adventures. But as they played back the video, they spotted something astonishing, hidden deep within the dense woods. Just as the last horse passed by, a dark, imposing figure became visible. This wasn't just any silhouette. Its broad shoulders and thick dark fur made it stand out. The creature seemed to be watching the riders from its concealed spot, almost as if it were curious about the group. The footage was undeniable. As they huddled around the screen, the room buzzed with a mix of awe and disbelief. The immediate thought that came to everyone's mind was the legendary Bigfoot. The clip has since sparked a flurry of speculation and analysis. What do you think about this footage? The following video is taken from Cryptic World. In the video, the author, going out for a smoke on his working day, decided to take pictures of the beauty of nature when he suddenly heard strange noises, and then something happened to him. Let's take a look.
Wow, that is so far away though. Guys, look at this. Oh my God. Wow. This thing is just standing out in the open, guys. Just standing right there looking at me this whole time. Looks like its head swaying. Wow, guys, this is awesome. I knew I heard something. And that's far away.
In the video, we can see a figure in the undergrowth that closely resembles a young member of the Bigfoot family. We can clearly see that the creature stands on two legs and has a conical head, but the size of this creature is confusing. Its shape is unmistakably humanoid, but noticeably bulky. She has no visible signs of clothing, and her entire figure is dark, in accordance with the descriptions of the Bigfoot, who has hair or fur of the same color. When zoomed in, and yes, we zoomed in, the head is positioned low in relation to the shoulders, and the arms appear long in relation to the torso. It doesn't match the physique of an ordinary person. There is also a slight forward tilt in the pose, which is often mentioned by eyewitnesses of the movement of the Bigfoot, almost like a natural instinct developed when moving in dense thickets. One of the most exciting and disturbing aspects of Bigfoot encounters is not only the visual observations, but also the sounds. Eyewitnesses across North America and beyond report hearing deep, resonant sounds echoing through forests and mountains. A man was walking through the woods near his house on a weekend evening when he suddenly heard terrifying noises and decided to make a video. Let's take a look. In the video, we hear scary guttural and low sounds, presumably made by a creature larger than a human. One could say that these are sounds related to something mechanical, but no, there is nothing similar nearby that could make such a sound. These sounds resemble the sound of a large ship. Many Bigfoot audio recordings contain long, prolonged howls or roars that reverberate through the trees like a distant siren in the fog. These low frequencies are felt rather than heard. They seem to vibrate in your chest. Ships use fog horns to signal their presence in conditions of poor visibility, and the Bigfoot seems to declare itself in a similar, maybe to warn, or maybe to contact. Strangely enough, dense forests and deep oceans aren't all that different from each other. Both are vast, echoing, and largely unexplored. So perhaps it makes sense to assume that something as mysterious as Bigfoot can speak